There are a number of celebrities that people look up to as role models. Many budding performers might look up to famous actors, singers, and comedians as inspiration, and many fans want to follow in their footsteps. But just because some celebrities have achieved a goal that you aspire to achieve as well, doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best person to look up to. There are quite a few famous people who aren't very good people to look up to, so let's talk about them as we count down the top 10 worst celebrity role models in Hollywood. At number 10, Lea Michele. For a lot of up-and-coming performers, they have that one person in the industry that they look up to the most. For some aspiring Broadway performers, actress Lea Michele could be one of those people that they look up to, but perhaps they aren't the best choice. After being exposed last year, Lea Michele is now known for being mean and a diva. Former Glee star Samantha Ware called the actress out for her rudeness among other negative things, and this brought on a wave of other accusations from people in the industry. People started coming forward to talk about their experiences with working with Lea, as some recounted instances of bullying, aggressiveness, and bad behavior. Because there were so many horror stories that came out about her last year, we know that Lea probably isn't the best person to idolize. Though yes, she is very successful and talented, she also doesn't treat her peers with respect, which is a very important quality to have. She's done a lot of people wrong over the years, and that kind of behavior shouldn't be accepted, so if you do consider Lea to be a role model, then you might want to find someone else. At number 9, Shia Labeouf. From what we've seen in the news over the years and from what we've heard from other celebrities, I think it's safe to say that Shia Labeouf isn't the greatest guy. There are people who are still fans of the actor, but after hearing about his questionable and sometimes downright disrespectful actions, idolizing Shia probably isn't for the best. He is someone who's faced a lot of allegations as of late. Last year, Shia faced allegations from his ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs after she filed a lawsuit against him detailing some of the encounters she had with him. Twigs alleged that he had threatened to crash a car with her in it if she didn't profess her love for him, and claimed that he would sometimes grab her so hard that she would bruise. Even singer Sia came forward with her own allegations against the actor, saying that she too had been emotionally damaged by Shia. On top of that, he was fired by Olivia Wilde from the upcoming film Don't Worry Darling due to his alleged bad behavior, as people have cited that Shia is quote, not an easy guy to work with. He's made headlines for disrespecting an officer and for plagiarism among other things, so he's really not someone with qualities you should look up to. Before I carry on talking about celebrities that you probably shouldn't be looking up to, let me first take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also smash that subscribe button to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Chrissy Teigen. Hurting others is always negative. No one deserves to be treated poorly, and no one should support that kind of behavior. This is what makes Chrissy Teigen a bad role model, because after she was exposed for bullying someone online, we saw a negative side of her that no one should want to follow. Chrissy faced backlash for resurfaced tweets and DMs directed at Kourtney Stodden from back in the day. These messages were really hurtful and mean, and they really hurt Kourtney, as they've come out to say that these messages affected them greatly when they were younger. When Chrissy got cancelled, she didn't handle it well and really didn't take accountability for her actions, and made the backlash towards her an even bigger deal, playing the victim in the whole situation. This behavior isn't something that should be looked up to, because hurting others never ends well. There are plenty of other celebrities to look up to who haven't done the hurtful things that Chrissy has. At number 7, Kim Kardashian. Kim K is yet another celebrity who doesn't make the best role model. Though yes, she is successful in her own right, her success can't always outweigh her actions. Kim has faced a lot of scrutiny over the years for appropriating various cultures. She's faced backlash for wearing black hairstyles like cornrows and for blackfishing as well. She got in trouble a few years back when she wanted to name her shapewear brand Kimono, but she faced backlash from the Asian community for the name. Over the course of the pandemic, she and her family got cancelled for going against COVID guidelines and for going on vacation while everyone was in lockdown. She's also been accused of trying to trademark a name for her business that was already taken by a small black-owned business. Kim has also been accused of using people to get to the top and for not being humble about her journey to fame and fortune. I will admit that she works hard as a businesswoman and lawyer, but there are other qualities that aren't something that people should look up to. At number 6, David Dobrik. For a lot of aspiring YouTube creators, David Dobrik was one person that a lot of people looked up to. He had a lot of success on the platform, but after his massive scandal earlier this year, a lot of people stopped supporting the YouTuber after learning of the allegations against him. David lost a lot of support after people started coming forward with allegations of bullying against David, as well as his Blog Squad friends. Former members of David's friend group also came forward calling David out for bullying and for creating a toxic environment, as well as orchestrating pranks that resulted in one friend getting hurt, and on top of that, a former fan came forward naming a Vlog Squad member as a person who was inappropriate with them while they were under the influence, and also exposed David for filming part of the alleged incident. Many fans believed that David crossed the line for the sake of his content, and that just went too far for a lot of people. Though David has come a long way in his career, he doesn't make the best role model because of how many people he seems to have hurt along the way. At number 5, DaBaby. Many people look up to rappers for inspiration as role models as they embark on their own music career, but one rapper that doesn't make a good role model for fans is rapper DaBaby. The rapper was exposed when he said some pretty offensive things while on stage performing at Rolling Loud in Miami. While on stage, the rapper made comments about the gay community as well as HIV and AIDS, calling it a quote, deadly sexual transmitted disease that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. He also went on to say some more homophobic things about gay men that added fuel to the fire. Many people have condemned the rapper's comment and tried to educate the public on what the rapper said and how it was wrong and damaging, and many have been trying to educate the public specifically on HIV and AIDS to put the stigma spread by DaBaby's comments to rest. He lost a lot of support from the LGBTQ+ community, and because of the offensive things he said, he isn't someone who should be looked up to as a role model. At number 4, Chris Brown. Chris Brown has a history of conflicts, which is why he doesn't necessarily make the best role model. He's talented but has a nasty temper and has led him to be involved in some serious situations, from fighting workers at a gym to having outbursts on various sets and even his 2009 Rihanna incident. But the best example of why he isn't someone to look up to comes from his incident that involved a heavy police presence. In 2016, the singer had a day-long standoff with SWAT. This all came about after a woman alleged that Chris had threatened her with a firearm. The woman was able to get away, but eventually the police were called about the incident, but Chris refused to let the police in his home without a warrant. So they set up camp, and that's when SWAT moved in. There were helicopters flying overhead, and the singer even allegedly threw a duffel bag full of firearms and illicit substances out the window. The standoff lasted for hours and had neighbors in the area on edge and upset with Chris for causing such a scene. This outburst and drama escalated out of control, and this kind of behavior is just one that should not be idolized. At number 3, Chris D'Elia. Comedians look up to other comedians. In this industry, networking is a big thing, but one person that you should want to stay away from is comedian Chris D'Elia. Last year, he faced multiple allegations of misconduct and harassing young women online. Multiple women came forward to share their unpleasant experiences with the comedian, from unwanted advances to indecent exposure and manipulation. In a lawsuit filed in early March, Chris was accused of soliciting private content from a young woman under the age of 18. Though this happened in 2014 when she was 17, she had been inspired by the other women who've come forward to tell their story and seek justice. The investigation into Chris's alleged crimes have revealed that he solicited over 100 photos from this woman. His actions and experiences with these young women have impacted their lives, and they now have to live with that. Because of the allegations against Chris, his career is completely damaged, and he was even dropped by his agency and manager. You never want to support someone who's done things that Chris has, and just knowing of what he's been accused of just shows you that he can't be trusted as a role model to anyone. At number 2, Justin Timberlake. It took years for people to realize, but after getting exposed in the Framing Britney Spears documentary, people learned that Justin Timberlake isn't as nice as once thought and isn't someone to look up to. Justin got exposed for the way that he handled his high-profile breakup with Britney, and fans demanded that he apologize for his actions and take accountability after the documentary looked into the way that Britney was portrayed in the media after Justin alleged that Britney had cheated on him. From the paparazzi to interviews, we saw how Justin played a part in the media's mistreatment of Britney after their public breakup in 2002. After their relationship ended, Justin framed Britney to make her look like the villain in the relationship, accusing her of cheating and essentially weaponizing their breakup to boost his own career for his own personal gain. This prompted the media to point fingers at Britney and put a lot of pressure and blame on the singer, who really didn't deserve all of that negative attention. He fell into his own selfishness and damaged someone else in the process, and that just isn't a commendable thing to do. Justin may be successful, but he hurt someone to get that success, and for that, he should not be a role model to anyone. And finally, at number 1, Justin Bieber. I think we are all aware of Justin Bieber's destructive phase, right? Though these days Justin has chilled out a little, there was a time around 2014 where Justin was constantly in the news for getting into fights, getting into trouble, and not being a good role model to the people who looked up to him at the time. Justin was acting out a lot during this time and caused a number of scandals, but one of the biggest scandals Justin was involved in during that time came out when he reportedly caused over $20,000 worth of damage to his neighbor's house. Neighbors accused the singer and his friends of egging their multi-million-dollar mansion, and they were furious, as anyone would be. This was all taken to court, where Justin pleaded no contest to the misdemeanor charge, and he got away with not facing a criminal charge in the case. Justin also paid $80,000 to his neighbor in restitution. Things died down a bit between him and his neighbor until 2016, when the neighbor reclassified his lawsuit against the singer, claiming that, quote, things got nasty between them. He said that Justin was a bully, and according to the neighbor, he had been, quote, spitting at, punching, and bullying other members of the public with impunity for years. Back then, he had a lot of eyes on him, especially from young fans, so his actions weren't helping him to be a positive role model for his audience and made him one of the worst role models in Hollywood. Before I wrap things up for today, I want you guys to leave a comment down below telling me who your celebrity role model is and why you look up to them. Anyways, that's it for me. I've been your host, Ree Room, and until next time, stay safe, make good choices, and stay groovy, friends.